So guys, this is EcBoy from TeamCalamity, and this is another Cardfight Vanguard Deck Profile, this time looking at Lawkeeper Kagero. At the time of filming, I still haven't finished the deck. I'm borrowing 3 of the 4 Barris that you see here off a friend, so I still want more of them. I'll be doing a binder video with my haves and wants, and that should be going up. So I do need 3 more Barri. Also another Crush-Shot Garp, but I don't, it's a common, it's not something that I'm desperate for. And also 2 more of the Triple R Dragonic Overlord. Again, I don't really, it's not something that I'm desperate for, but it's just A1, mainly Barris. So this is a deck that I'm probably going to play for Nationals. In my opinion, it's the best deck, and I really like it. So I'll go through it. For grade 3s, you've got 3 Lawkeeper, 3 Dual Axe, and 2 Overlord. I use this ratio because, in my opinion, it's the best. With Lawkeeper, it's obviously it's a good Vanguard, but you only want it as your Vanguard. It's terrible as a rear guard. So when I ran 4, for one thing, they would clog too much, but also if you drop a Lawkeeper, then you have to drop an Overlord, and I like Overlord a lot, just because it has that flexibility as an alternate Vanguard and as a rear guard. So I will have no qualms about riding Overlord. In fact, I like to ride Overlord in the early game just because it's 11k, so that's a good defensive number, and you can conserve cards, so then when you're making your Lawkeeper pushes, you have more hand advantage. So 3 Lawkeeper to 2 Overlord is good. Overlord is at 2 because if I was to run 3, then I would have to drop a Dual Axe, and I think that Dual Axe is too important to only run 2 of. It's like a more situational Palamedes for the deck. Obviously you need it for when you start doing your Lawkeeper shenanigans, and from there it just hits for ridiculous amounts. But if I was to run 2, then you would end up damage checking it or something, and then you only have 1 left in the deck. It's not really very good. With 4, it dead draws too much, but I think that 3 is the perfect number in this deck. Then grade 2s, you've got 4 Nahalem, 2 Garp. I'm proxying a Garp at the moment because I still need another one. 3 Berserk and 2 Tejas. I use 3 Berserk just because you'll generally only resolve 1 per game, because you want to save some counter blasts for Lawkeeper. So it isn't quite as good as in Goku, where you barely use any counter blasts at all. It is still an amazing card, so you have to run it definitely, but there are just times where it will be 9k vanilla, and then in that case you might as well just run another 10k vanilla, but still definitely a very good card. 2 Tejas is just because I quite like it. I would rather have something different than just 8-10ks. Tejas is quite nice, especially against the mirror match, where you want to snipe out Conroe's spikes, you want to snipe out Mecha Trainer, Gold Paladins, where you want to snipe out Kerf, and even against things like Oracles, if they have the Tom plus Gemini setup, you can just use Tejas, snipe out a Gemini. So it's got a lot of good things going for it. It's a good card. And then grade 1s, you've got 4 Barri, 4 Bar, 4 Gojo, an Ammo, and a Kimnara. Not Kinara, that's the Japanese one. I run 4 Gojo just because you want your setup to be Lawkeeper as Vanguard, with Dual Axe rear guard, and then 2 Bars or Gojos, or any combination of the 2, because then you can have at least 2 20k columns, including your Vanguard column. Gojo is just a really flexible card in this deck. I mean, in Goku Kagero, AMO is what offers the draw discard power. In this deck, it's Gojo, just because it also functions as that 7k booster, which is incredibly important. I run 4 just because I don't. If I max it, then I won't have to be using my con researches for it as much. I can save con researches for Bar or Bari, or if I want to fetch an AM or a Kimnara, then one of them. So, in my opinion, in Lawkeeper Kagero, you should be running full Gojo. And one AMO and one Kimnara, just because I like the options of having either. I will rarely get 3 20k columns, so AMO is just nice. You know, you stick it behind an Overlord, Rearguard, or a Nahalem, or whatever. And then, if they let the attack hit, you can just fix up your hand to the way you like it. It's an incredibly good card. And Kimnara is just another option I like to have. In this deck, I can only run 1. Well, no, you could run more, but I only like running 1 because you pretty much want to be saving your counterblast for Lawkeeper. And I don't really have the space to be running more than 1, but it's definitely a good card. So, yeah, 1 is good enough. And then the trigger lineup, you've got 6 crit. I need 2 more Tars and a Draco Kid, but I'm not fussed. It's irrelevant. Just 6 crit. And then 6 draw. I play 4 Gatling Claw because it's just quite useful. I mean, it has an effect. You will rarely boost with the draw triggers, so the stat integer really matters. You just you run 4 Gatling for the effect, and it can be useful against things like Gold Paladin. If you go first against Gold Paladin, then it can stop them getting the superior ride, which is nice. Oh yeah, 6 crit, 6 draw. I run that because in this deck, you don't need to put more pressure on the opponent when you have the Lawkeeper setups, because you're already swinging for high damage, so you're forcing cards out of their hand already. So crits aren't quite as necessary as they would be in Goku. With draws, it helps you to get the setup that you need and just boost consistency. In the early game, I want to be getting draws. When I damage check, I want to be getting draws. So in a deck like this, draws are really good. So that's why I run 6 crit, 4 draw. Sorry, 6 crit, 6 draw in this deck. In Goku, I think I do 7 crit, 5 draw. But you know, I really like draws in Kagero in general. It's just it suits the deck a lot. And then 4 heal and a Conro. Obviously Conro is starting, and 4 heal, obviously. So this is the deck. I still need 3 Bari, so come at me with trades. I'll be doing a binder video. But yeah, really, I like this deck a lot. It's really good. So thanks a lot, guys, and see you around.